As more and more rumour and news comes out thick and fast, and more likely thicker and fasterer, once a week I'll do a catch up with what's going down, and well, you know. So this week we've got some news on the PS5 price, the Xbox Series X rear, and some really cool renders that look better than what anything Sony can do and has done, as well as news on potential announcement dates that no one seems to know about. So let's start off with the PS5 price, one of which has been some huge speculation over time. Now, rumour is suggesting that Sony is aiming at performance and price, a sort of a balance between the two. So the price, and as you know, I did a video where we were talking about this, and a lot of people tended to sort of be with me on this one, that it could be around about the $350 mark, same in pounds and same in euros. However, what has come to light is over the last few days is that Sony haven't apparently decided on any price as of yet, and are in fact waiting on Microsoft to show their hand. So perhaps Microsoft also are waiting for Sony to show their hand too. So we have a kind of a waiting game, like a poker game, to see who's going to blink first. Now it does make you wonder, given that the Series X is likely, simply based on its specification, is going to likely be much more than the PS4, simply because it's going to cost an awful lot more to make. And also, if we look at previous consoles from Microsoft, they've been around about the $399 to $499 mark. So it's very likely, and more likely, to be towards that sort of upper end, really. For the Sony PS5, my money's still on the $349, which would be very, very cool indeed. And if they manage to get it at that price, that sort of price and performance balance, I think they're just going to sell a complete and absolute ton. Now, as photos leak of the Xbox Series X rear end, like some papped JLo bottom analysis project, we get to see what connections the Xbox Series X has. And it's no surprise, the usual affair, aside from the fact that there is this odd looking port. And speculation, of course, ran rife across the interwebs of what this port could be. And it could be nothing, of course. You know, this is still a prototype, as we've seen, and things still change on prototypes. That's the whole idea of prototypes. However, you know, it does look like this could be very much the finished product on the rear end, so to speak. And it's maybe not likely to change beyond what is on the back. So, rumour and leaks suggest that this is an expansion port for storage. And it could be. It makes a lot of sense. In fact, it could just be a straight up SATA port. SATA, SATA, tomato, tomato, potato, potato. You know, the sort of thing. Anyway, could be a SATA port, which would make sense when you consider that using a USB 3 would not be as easy or as quick as using a straight up SATA port. We will, of course, have to wait and see what's going on there. Now let's go digital. Those amazing people that create incredible renders have been getting out their colouring books once again and creating some incredible renders, and have gone render crazy the last sort of few weeks and months as we've been building up towards these sort of next gen consoles. One of which, in fact, you've been watching as I've been yapping on as I've been doing this video, that show the DualShock 5. Now, what is interesting is that wouldn't it be good if indeed it looked like that. In fact, you know, if this was the DualShock 5 controller, it would just be cool if that was actually what it is. I know that Let's Go Digital based theirs on leaks and rumors and official documents and so on. So, you know, it could be pretty close to what we're very likely to see. And I also like the fact that they've added some nice humor in the sort of the pseudo marketing text that they've used in the boxes and that comes up in the video. However, I don't agree with the fact that we're still going to see this touch panel display. I think that's a last gen thing. So I feel that if Sony really want to make the DualShock 5 to be more interesting, to be more of a next gen thing, is to make that into a little OLED panel. Given that we had the adapter for the existing DualShock 4 to have the back paddles, and that has a little OLED display, it wouldn't be too much of a stretch then to have a larger version of that to replace the really crappy, I don't like it, lots of people do, an awful lot of people don't, I'm one of them, of that touch interface, that huge waste of space at on the top of your controller. If they replaced that with an OLED display that could then give you like a mini map or stats or anything like that, that would be cool. So my money still is on some kind of OLED display as the touch interface basically no one uses, and when we did, pretty much it was a complete pain in the arse. So aside from that, and aside from, you know, me not agreeing with that aspect, I still think these are incredible renders, and in fact they're better than some of the marketing renders that Sony and Microsoft push out. Now what I do know is that Giuseppe Spinelli, who created these renders, has signed a multi-year deal with Let's Go Digital to create more cool renders, and I'm still somewhat staggered he's only got 1,600 subscribers on his YouTube channel, which is ridiculous, people. Come on, this guy creates amazing renders. Announcement dates for the PS5, one of which has come and gone, so things are really hotting up on the potential of an announcement show venue parade this month in February. Sony have a web page where you can register your interest, should you be interested, and yes, of course you are, on news and stuff about the PS5, which you can find the link in the description below. Other than that, the only solid rumour runs along the lines of some dude who looked at the booking schedule for Sony's own auditorium, the name of which is Sony Hall, that's it. Now strangely, it has been booked out for an unknown closed private event on the 29th of February 2020. So plenty of time to stir up some marketing and send out the invites to New York City for some big release, so to speak. Well, we're certainly bound to see an awful lot more during February, right? Right? Let's hope. That's it for Next Gen Latest. More news and guff incoming very shortly, I'm very sure. I'll keep you posted, of course, and if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and if you have, don't forget to click the bell. Next Gen Latest will return next week with more news and stuff and things, as well as daily videos on leaks, peaks, news reviews, how-tos, guides, and so much more, with a good dose of nerd thrown in. See you next time.